Web servers are core of the internet. Without web server softwares such as Apache or NGINX, the web would be nothing like what we see today. So if you want to know more about the web servers, you have to understand how they work. And in this video, we are going to learn, or we are going to understand how the web servers work, or which is the best web server, either Apache or NGINX. So please watch this video carefully until the end, so you will get that idea which is the best web server and how web servers work. Before going in depth, first thing comes in our mind, what is the web server? In simple words, web servers are the computers or the servers which runs the server software such as Apache or NGINX. Okay, we have one overall idea that these are the servers which the Apache or NGINX softwares are running, and these Apache or NGINX softwares are performing with your request. Now request means if you type www.google.com or facebook.com, then you can see the Facebook's page. Whatever you are asking for and whatever you are requesting and what you are getting on your browser, this request handling work is done by these web servers, which is obviously Apache or NGINX. These server software, or mainly web servers, are the responsible for request handling. I just explained to you how the web page comes on your browser. Web servers are mainly responsible for this requesting or handling requests. That's it. Maybe question comes in mind that that's it, or web servers working is done, or anything else web servers can do. What they do beyond this, right? Suppose you have a large website, your website's data is huge, then it may be possible that databases comes in scenario. So these are some of the components, or we are going to discuss some of the components which are related to these web servers or your websites or your web application. The web server softwares are work along with the several components to serve your static or the moderate websites. Suppose if you want to host your website or you want to deploy WordPress on your web server, then what you need? The first main important is the web server. You need Apache or NGINX to be installed on your server. The second thing is PHP. If you are going to host any website like CMS website, then you need obviously PHP. Third thing is databases, MariaDB or the MySQL. So these are some of the components which requires to host our websites. Now we'll understand the working of our web server softwares, Apache or NGINX, one by one. Now we will understand the working of Apache. In 1995, Robert McCool introduces this web server software, which is nothing but Apache HTTP server. When it was invented or when it was introduced, it was the only one option for web servers. After a few years, Apache Foundation took over this maintenance, and then they launched its open source version, and then everybody starting using this Apache web server, which is obviously open source version. When it was introduced, it was only supports to the Linux platform, but nowadays if you can take a look, it supports overall all platforms like Windows and Mac also. It is now supporting Linux, Windows and other platforms as well. It means you can deploy this web server software on Windows machine or the Windows server or the Linux server or any BSD or any server. Now we will take a look of NGINX. NGINX is designed by Igor Sissovi. The question should be comes in your mind, if we already have the HTTP, the best web server, then why we need to, or why this guy need to develop this new web server? They says that to handle the massive number of requests, that is concurrent 10K request. To handle 10K concurrent requests, he developed this application, and nowadays you can see it is such a one of the popular web server software as compared to Apache, because Apache and NGINX are working at the same level. If you can go to the Google and you can just read any survey which did for the web servers, Apache users are approximately 36.325%, and the NGINX users are approximately 32.5%. So you can consider consider, Apache was invented at the 1995 like that, and in 2003 or 4 introduces this NGINX, and it is quite popular at, or it can reach to the level where Apache is popular. When NGINX was invented or introduced, it was only the commercial version, but in 2004 they launches their another version, which is open source version, and still you can use their paid version or the commercial version, which is known by the NGINX Plus. So both the options you can use. This guy has developed or introduced this application for to handle the massive number of requests. It's okay means it is the good achievement, but NGINX is known for two more things. The first one is proxy server and the second one is load balancing. By using the NGINX, you can use the NGINX is not only for the web servers, you can also use it for the reverse proxy, and the second thing is you can use NGINX for the load balancing. So if someone don't wants to use this for the web server application or web as a web server software, then they are using NGINX as a reverse proxy or the load balancing. So this is versatile software, as we can say that. Now we will see how they work. We are going to discuss their differences, on which platform they work or which technology or which technique they use to serve this website content, or how they handle this request. The first point is request management. This means that how these web servers react when they get the request from the end user. When you are typing that google.com or the facebook.com and it goes to the web server address, and then there is Apache who is treating this, or there is a NGINX web server who is treating or who is performing action on this request. So what they can do or how they perform this request or how they react to this request, we're going to see. To handle such a request, Apache uses multi-processing modules. Many times we can say as a MPMs. So Apache uses these MPMs to handle such a request. Now there are total 3 types of MPMs, or there are 3 ways to handle such a request by using MPMs. So we will discuss one by one. The first one is MPM pre-fork. This module provides single threaded process to handle each request. Each child process can handle only one request. You can imagine that each child process has to handle only one connection. So it is dedicated one child process to handle the one connection. So the connectivity is very good as compared to any other web servers. Like there is only one dedicated child process to handle a request. Then you can imagine it. The second option is, or the second module name is MPM worker. This module can produce multi-threaded process, and then each child process can handle one connection. In previous, there is a single threaded process. In single threaded process, there is only one process, child process, and it can handle only one request. In MPM workers, there are multi-threaded process, and in multi-threaded processes, there are number of child processes, and each child process has to handle only one connection request. This is comes in scenario when there are huge numbers of requests, or at the time of scaling, the MPM workers are the best options. The third option is MPM event. It is only used to keep the connections alive. So it is something different process to keep the connection alive, which is obviously MPM pre-fork and the MPM workers. Now we saw the request management, or how the request managed by the Apache. Now we'll see how the request managed by the NGINX. In NGINX, it uses event-driven approach. In event-driven, what happens? It creates the multiple threaded processes, and each process can handle the multiple connection requests. It can handle a very huge number of requests. That's why he introduced the NGINX to handle the 10K concurrent requests, and that's why it uses the management process or request management process, such like it creates the multi-threaded processes, and each child process can handle the multiple number of connections. So it is very comfortable at where you can perform the very large number of requests you are getting. Then the NGINX is the best option. The second main point, or the second key difference, is the server management. In Apache, we can see one configuration file, which is htaccess file, .htaccess file. In this file, you can put lots of rules how your request can be handled for each and every web website. So you can do whatever you want to do, or you can perform any task, or you can regulate any request connection in the Apache. But in NGINX you can't do anything because it comes with the by default rule settings, so you don't have choice to perform such actions. By using this module, Apache can define more widely because we can modify so many settings and we can perform so many action rules to handle their requests. The third key difference is modules. Modules are nothing but the add-ons which is used to extend its or software's functionality. There are so many modules. As you know, Apache is very old software or web server software, so developers or the communities and who are working on the Apaches, they have developed so many modules, and by using these modules it's very useful or it's very beneficial to use the Apache. Using these modules and disabling them if you don't want it, or if you want to swap in between your request, you can do by using these modules. And if you can see in NGINX, you can't find such a modules. Even commercial version you can get some modules, but if you want to use it in NGINX, then you have to compile it. It will get so much time to get compiled, and once you get it compiled, then you can't disable it. Started to use it in NGINX, then you don't have any option to disable them, so it's very hectic. This is one of the advantage of the Apache, that they have such a modules. Now we'll see pros and cons of these two applications. First we'll discuss of Apache. Apache is very simple to install and configure. Its setup is very easy, and if you can see the modules and the connection request, htaccess file, there is a huge documentation available to add these modules, how to add these modules. If you want to do anything or any changes, then there is lots of documentation available on the internet, so it's very easy to use this Apache. The second option is obviously modules. Because of these modules, because of these add-ons, there are so many tasks which is we can make this easier. So this is one of the advantage. And after that, by using this htaccess file or the modules, we can modify the rules and we can define how the request to be handled. So this is one of the advantages. As compared to cons, there are no any disadvantage Apache, that if you want to very huge number of requests, then also it can handle it, but it needs a great server hardware to perform such activities. Because as I told you earlier in request handling, that each child process handle only one connection request. Now we'll discuss about the NGINX. The main purpose of using the NGINX is for what purpose it is introduced, that is the handling massive number of incoming requests. NGINX can handle the massive number of requests in very less time period, for which it is known for. The second point is it gives you the great performance in limited hardware resources. As NGINX is already faster, if your website is only static website, then it will serve your static content faster and faster. Very quick result you will get it if your website has the static content. It means that it don't have any load or the databases and all the things, tired architecture and blah. So if your website is only static website, then the performance or the request handling time is the awesome. You will get within a fraction of second. You will get the result within a fraction of seconds. So NGINX is especially known for its scalability or the handling request, massive request and number of requests per seconds or the milliseconds. So guys, if you look at the overall scenario, there are some advantages of the Apache, there are certain advantages of the NGINX. They both are good at their level, but it totally depends on you. What is your website or what content you are serving on the website? It totally depends on it, that which servers you have to choose. If you have loaded website, then you can go with the Apache, which will help you to serve your content, as one process can handle one connection, so it will load all the data properly. And if you have the static contents, then you can go with the NGINX also. It doesn't mean that NGINX can handle the very loaded websites or Apache can't handle requests quickly, but it's up to you, because it's if you can check overall process, it's a 50-50 ratio. You can go with the Apache also, and you can go with the NGINX also. Setting up and the configuration, these things will be matter, and it's up to you which server is to be used. So guys, this is it for now. You got the idea what are the web servers and how the Apache works, how the NGINX ones, and it may clear all your doubts or the confusions, or you got to know the so many things related to these web servers. If you like this video, then don't forget to like this video. Also, if you are new to the channel, then please subscribe and share this video with your friends so that they will also get some idea about the web servers. That's it for now. We'll see in next video. Till that time, bye bye.